I decided to try out AI coding agents on a new project. Even after 20 plus years of software development experience, the exercise has changed my perspective. To those junior developers trying to stay afloat in a rapidly changing industry, I think there's reason to be hopeful. These tools enable very quick prototyping and offer opportunities to accelerate learning. For example, the speed at which the agents and I grew the app's codebase forced me to learn software architecture patterns like MVI much more quickly. Several of my coworkers have described working with the AI agent as having the ghost of an intern working for you. That rings true for me as well. I hate to frame this as AI versus human. It's dehumanizing to human software developers and too anthropomorphizing to AI agents. There is some truth in the framing, though. Both are competing for my time and money. Before introducing the app I created over the holidays, I'd like to introduce one that I've been working on for a few years, overcastdata.com. It started as a way to answer a question my wife, then fiance, shared with me as we were planning our wedding. What do you think the weather will be like on our wedding day a year from now? From my day job, I've learned enough about available public datasets and how to query them to get her an answer. It included probabilities for temperature, wind, and precipitation. This scratched my itch, but I knew there are other people who could benefit from this information. I began creating an app. It sat on obscurity with raw JSON rendering without much in the way of a front end. I knew with my limited free time, I needed some help to get this going, so I reached out to a former apprentice of mine and contracted him part-time to help out. A year later, we have a usable web app, and my friends and I reference it for gardens, travel, and events. The other app I want to talk about is much newer. I recently got back into my hobby of knitting, specifically double knitting for reversible colorwork fabrics. I was having a hard time keeping track of where I was on the charts, and I wasn't satisfied with what I could find in the Google Play Store. None of the apps seemed to be particularly well suited to the unique challenges in double knitting. I hoped to develop this app quickly using some vacation time, but even after a day, I just spent hours going through basic code labs, getting familiarity with Kotlin and Android development. Not long after that, over a holiday break, I decided to give AI agents a try, specifically Jules with Gemini 3, which was available as part of a $20 a month Google One subscription. After a few weeks, I had not only an app, but I used it a few times to knit small projects such as icons for the app. Unfortunately, it's not available on the Google Play Store yet, as there's testing requirements that I haven't met. One of the reasons I've been able to make so much progress so quickly is that this workflow opens up more opportunities to make progress while I'm not in my ideal workspace, such as on the bus during my commute, during breaks at art class, or on the couch watching TV. Really, anywhere, which can be kind of a problem. I give Jules a task, and within a few minutes, I have a pull request that I can review. If the build succeeds, I even have an APK that I can install and test all from my phone. Collaboration obviously looks different between these two apps. On Overcast Data, my contractor and I truly collaborate. Between the two of us, we have years of shared experience with the codebase. We get not only our work completed, but also help each other fulfill some of our social needs by helping each other and brainstorming together. Working with AI, on the other hand, is a lonelier experience. Even though Jules does have a chat mode, and I use the voice chat in the Gemini app, I'm not building rapport and trust with an AI, nor should I be, lest I risk AI psychosis. From a technical perspective, these AI conversations can have huge benefits, but it's not the same as talking to a teammate. That said, working relationships can be tricky to navigate. For example, I'm paying a contractor to help me, which maybe means he's less likely to push back on my ideas when they don't make much sense. That said, AI sycophancy is a real thing, and it might even be more prone to yes manning me. Regarding the scope of the projects, I can give my contractor larger, more ambiguous tasks and trust that he will make progress. While we have had some miscommunications, I know that he learns from them quickly. With AI, I've learned that it needs small, concrete tasks. Even if I give it a task that it misinterprets, I can reset, give it a subtask, or rephrase the task, and within the time it takes me to brew a tea, I probably have another attempt at an answer. This rapid AI approach, the code quickly becomes a mess. Even with guardrails in the prompts and agents.md file, it's rare to get it to follow all of the design patterns. The data structures it creates are suboptimal. They're filled with redundant, potentially conflicting data, and lots of duplication both in the code and the data itself. Making an app that isn't just slop still takes effort, deep thinking, and handwritten code. To be fair, if one were to assign tasks that are inappropriate in scope for a human's skills, this would likely be the outcome as well. The downsides of hiring or contracting a human developer are obvious: costs and time. Getting familiar enough with the technology to be productive can take many hours of concentrated effort and training. If producing code were all that mattered, it's several orders of magnitude difference in cost for a human to build a feature compared to prompting an AI, even accounting for breaking it down into smaller pieces and prompting multiple times. In most working environments, we're measured based on what we can produce and the impact we have on the business. If you don't have the luxury of time to learn deeply a new technology or code base, utilizing all the tools available to you becomes essential. Learning quickly and adapting has always been valuable in this rapid-paced software industry. These AI tools can accelerate that learning process. So long as you continue to show curiosity and learn by doing, you'll continue to improve your skills and knowledge. Aim to understand the problem space so that you can better solve problems you and the AI encounter. For example, I'm learning Android development through generous teachers on YouTube like Philip Lackner and the official API documentation. This is giving me the ability to contribute directly, as well as providing the vocabulary I need, like MVI architecture, to direct Jules. The AI will make messes of the codebase. These AI tools provide a practical environment in which to experience the problems that software architecture is intended to solve. Try various approaches out and experiment. A portfolio is intended to showcase your skills. Unfortunately, AI makes it so easy to prototype the kinds of apps that one would historically do as part of a capstone project. Those projects won't really cut it. If it's smaller or UI heavy, it won't prove your personal skill. One approach would be to document thoroughly all the decisions going into a project. Basically, become a tech blogger with a devlog. Even if you don't get a large following, a hiring manager could read it and get to know if you are solving the kinds of problems that they need solved. Alternatively, work on the things AI doesn't excel at: polish, robustness, and scale. Show that you can bring a prototype to production ready by using AI as an accelerator. Set up CI/CD, build distributed systems. Your application may not become the next big thing, but if you treat it as though it was, that effort can shine through. As software developers, we have opportunities to build things that one or two people use or millions use. AI is disrupting this in fascinating ways. I think it's becoming more viable to build custom software for only a few people. Also, vibe coding isn't the only way forward. There have always been differing philosophies within this community. For example, software craftsmanship, which values robust, well tested, refactorable code, is a contemporary with Facebook's move fast and break things era. AI tools excel at move fast and break things, but they don't have to be used for that. Building software that is robust to errors and adaptable to our changing world continues to require effort, domain knowledge, and persistence. I can use these new tools to change how and where I do development, allowing me to spend time on side projects in moments such as my commute, when previously that wasn't even an option. That fact doesn't have to change my approach to building quality software. I recommend that you begin projects that you've maybe put off because you didn't know where to start. AI tools like Jules can accelerate that. It's okay to make mistakes or not have a perfect start. If it turns into a mess, which it likely will, that's an opportunity to learn and experiment in ways that would have previously been impossible.